guys, it's Jasmin, and that was my adorable co-pilot puppy. And today we are going to answer the super common question that I get, which is, why isn't my cat eating his or her food? Before we get started, if you like cat stuff, including things about kitty nutrition especially, but also raw cat food, or if you like things for humans, including fitness and nutrition and whatever else I feel like posting, then go ahead and click that subscribe button below, as well as the little bell icon that's right next to it, so that you can get notified whenever new videos go up, which is every Catterday. All right, onto the subject at hand. Has your cat suddenly stopped eating his or her food, or just started turning their nose up at their food? This isn't completely uncommon because we know that cats are very finicky creatures, so there are a lot of different reasons and variables to why this could be happening. But today I'm going to give you 8 reasons why your cat has potentially stopped eating his or her food. First things first, let's get the obvious out of the way. And if you are concerned that your cat has a serious health issue or ailment, the number one thing that you should do is always consult with your vet. Like I've spoken about in many videos, if you have a concern with your fur baby and that it might be something serious, whether it's an ailment or disease or potentially toxicity, then your vet is the only medical professional that could properly diagnose and treat your animal. So especially if you're noticing multiple symptoms and things including vomiting or severe weight loss, then the first thing that you should try to do is to consult with your feline's veterinarian. Now, besides that, here are 8 potential reasons why your cat isn't eating his or her food. Reason number 1, physical pain. One main reason that your cat could have stopped eating is due to actual physical pain. And this could be due to periodontal disease, it could be due to TMJ pain, a fractured or loose tooth, or even tumors or cancer in the mouth or throat area. Your feline fur baby could also have some kind of injury or cause of physical discomfort that isn't visible or obvious to the naked eye, which again is why it's a good idea to consult with your vet. Reason number 2, location of the food dish. If someone was to make you a lovely dinner that smells really good and looks really good and you're hungry, but they were to present it to you on top of a toilet which may or may not have been flushed, would you want to eat it? And would you want to eat it right there? So if your cat's food dish is being served next to its kitty litter commode, that kind of falls under a similar category. Again, our cats are very picky and cleanly creatures, so something like the location of the food dish, especially if it is near the kitty litter, could be why your cat is refusing to eat his or her food. Other unfavorable locations could be if the food is placed somewhere near chemical-based products, for example, a shelf where you keep all of your cleaning supplies. Another unfavorable location could be somewhere with a strong fragrance, and not only artificial fragrances, which a good example might be if you put your cat's food near some kind of Glade plug-in type thing that's in the wall, but it can even be something like really strong candles or diffusers, which I don't know, if you're trying to give your cat a very romantic experience and putting candles out near its food dish, I mean, the intent is very sweet, but it could also be causing your cat to not eat his or her food. If you think this may be the case, try relocating your cat's food dish to a place that doesn't have much going on around it, and it may be time to accept the fact that your cat may not be a fan of romantic candlelit dinners. Reason number 3, the material or shape of the food dish. As I've mentioned in the past, it may seem really basic, but again, cats, finicky. It would be a good idea to opt for feeding your cat in a plate without high sides, like a bowl, because believe it or not, a lot of cats find bowls too messy or difficult to eat out of. It's also a good idea to opt for plates that are made out of glass or porcelain as opposed to metal, for example, because metal can lend a metallic taste that leaches into the food. And you also want to avoid plastic because it is very porous and it can contribute to cat acne, which, if you didn't know, those are the little black dots that you might see around your cat's mouth and chin sometimes. Not to mention, a lot of cats are allergic to plastic. Reason number 4, trauma-based food aversion. So I know that sounds really intense, but by trauma-based food aversion, I mean if you have ever tried to hide medication or a supplement in your cat's food, then they are likely to associate that particular food with the medication or the supplement that you may have tried to sneak in there, and so it turns them off from the food from then on out. Reason number 5, an unclean food dish. Let us be reminded again that cats are very cleanly creatures. So if their food dish isn't cleaned very well, and this goes especially for raw food, but any type of food. And if they even get the hint of putrid meat, for example, or like we were just talking about, the residue of a supplement or medication, this could certainly cause them to avoid eating from that food dish and so avoid eating their food. Reason number 6, the quality or freshness of the food. This one is more likely to apply if you're feeding your cat a raw food or prey model diet. If the meat isn't fresh and your cat gets even the slightest hint, which is in their inherent instincts to know that the meat isn't fresh, and this includes the meat, the organs, or the eggs, then your cat will definitely turn his or her nose up at its plate. This is why it's not only super important to get the most fresh and best quality meat and organs and eggs that you can, but to make it as soon as you possibly can when you get home with these ingredients so that you can freeze it as fast as possible. I can tell you from firsthand experience, because this has happened to me a couple of times in the past few years, but if you can even slightly smell that something is off with the meat or the organs, and then a big sign is if you go ahead and you make the batch anyway because you bought all this stuff and you spent all the time making it, and you try to feed your cat from this batch of food, and your cat seems hesitant to eat or finish 2 to 3 meals in a row from a certain batch, then that is pretty much your surefire sign that the batch simply isn't good. So this is when you need to trust your cat's instincts and your own as well. And even though it may be time consuming, just accept it as a loss, dump that batch, go out and get the most fresh, best quality meat, organs, and eggs that you can, and make it as soon as you get home. Reason number 7, the temperature of your cat's food. So let's say that the batch smells fine, everything seems like it's good, but your cat still isn't eating his or her food. And again, this can apply maybe more likely to people feeding their cats a raw food diet, but it can also be to people who feed their cats canned food. You always want to make sure that your cat's food is at least room temperature, because if the food is too cold, your cat might not eat it. Needless to say, in nature, cats don't exactly eat refrigerated food, and actually, cats specifically prefer their food to be at a temperature of 95 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 35 degrees Celsius. Heating up your cat's food also helps to bring out the aroma of the meat, which is really important to stir up your cat's appetite before they eat. And if you want to know how I prefer to heat up puppies' food, which also adds some more hydration, which is really important, I have a video on that, and I'll make sure to link it in the description. And finally, reason number 8. Emotional causes. If you've had any doubt that cats can suffer from things like anxiety or depression or sadness, then you've probably not yet seen the video that I secretly recorded of Puppy when I left the house once. I'll make sure to link that in the description as well, but fair warning, it will probably break your heart or make you cry. I can't even watch it. That said, your cat could potentially have stopped eating his or her food due to feeling anxious or what we know as sad or depressed, especially if they are very attached to you, which I've learned that Puppy is a breed that is very attached to their owners usually, and or if you spend a lot of time at home, whether you work from home or your cat is used to you being there, and let's say you go on vacation or it's a more unfortunate circumstance where you have become the caretaker for a cat who is really attached to their owner and their owner passed away. These can be situations where your cat really is going through some kind of emotional trauma where they simply don't understand what's going on or they feel like they've been abandoned. If this is the case, then I'm sure some of you know when you get back from vacation, your cat will seem really mad at you for a little bit, but then quickly get over it and become Velcro to your body. Or if it's due to the more unfortunate second scenario, it really will just take time to heal, and also ensuring the cat that he or she is loved and wanted. Now, I'll probably make a separate video about tips to get your cat to eat, which I already have one on helping people transition your cat to a raw food diet, which has a lot of tips in it. I'll put that in the description with the rest of them. But one quick tip that I wanted to share with you guys that has worked for me and cats that I have pet sat for, as well as other people I know with cats, is sometimes if you simply serve them their food and then hang out and pet them gently down their head and down their back as they're eating, you'll find that they're more likely to not only eat the food, but finish it. Now, my theory is it could go one of two ways. They either feel really comfortable and secure and safe enough to eat their food, or they want to make sure they finish it because they're worried that you're hanging out to either eat it yourself or take it away. Whatever the reason is, it tends to work. All right, guys, those were 8 possible reasons why your cat hasn't been eating his or her food. I hope you found this video interesting or helpful, and if you have any additional tips that have worked for you, then please feel free to leave them below because I'd love to keep the discussion going. I'd love to learn, and also you might help somebody else. If you liked this video, please make sure to click the thumbs up below, as well as subscribe for those weekly videos. And also remember to check out our cat stuff playlist. You can go to catladyfitness.com and it's under the videos tab. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next week. Bye.